Yeah. Yep. Yeah, true. Hello. Good evening. You did. Work your magic. I can hear you. Ooh, check. I'll check too. Can you hear me? Let me find us. Why am I not connected? Oh, there we go. Let me find us. Why am I not connected? Oh, there we go. Yeah, can't hear you, Colin. I can hear you. Yeah, can't hear you, Colin. Who's that? That's me. Jeez. On. Might be your audio.
Right. What about now?
Can anyone hear?
How about flip's sake? This is this is back to the old days of when I first started this.
Oh my god! Sorry.
So my mic might have to feed through. I wonder.
You wonder?
If I switch my microphone to the webcam mic for you and then have the main one for the StreamYard.
Oh, that might do.
Hang on.
Away, close.
Right, so if I do this, Dale, can you still hear me?
Yep.
Right. And then if I...
Oh, I should have kept it on. Oh, hold on, I know.
This is... Oh, can hear us both now. Right, is that working? Everybody? Gabrielle? Chris? Everyone in chat?
We're both working.
And with no feedback? Because that's the worst. When you get like...
I can hear you. Yeah, can't hear you. Oh, okay, go live.
And with no feedback?
No feedback.
Excellent. Right.
18 minutes late, but oh
yeah,
well.
Sure, we're here. That's the main thing. God, technology is wonderful. And I know you were saying yesterday you want to get into podcasting and streaming. This is what's ahead of you.
Yeah.
And it's that's all part of the fun. If you can, don't let this be a barrier, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
But kind of embrace it, warts and all, because that's all part of everything when you're trying something, I guess.
Absolutely.
But finding the solution, that's the
And we did.
That's
Zoom.
Here we are. So, welcome everyone to another horror review. We are back again, and I don't know, Del, what did I do to offend you? Just honestly, if you need me to apologize, just tell me what it is I did or said.
Oh, please! It wasn't that bad.
God, were you talking to Cameron behind my back by any chance? Going, how the wine calling up? I know, found footage.
Oh, I know you don't like it, but I thought this might change your perspective on found footage.
Yeah, because I'm not stubborn at all. No, I'm gonna set my opinion.
Actually, Colin, it's payback for Killer Sofa.
Oh God, right? Okay, is this what it was?
Yeah, yeah. So I'll stop it now. Yeah.
Oh man, this is it. I have to go through this. But if you're not aware, we are talking about As Above, So Below. A found footage horror, which a fun fact, this was absolutely panned by critics and audience, yet in terms of movie, it was an absolute bloody success. $5 million budget, 41 million at the box office when it launched.
Yeah.
And you think of movies today putting billions almost, they're putting hundreds of millions in their production, and they need $1 billion just to break even.
That's unbelievable. It's unreal.
And this did it. So I can't say I've talked about in many streams my problem with found footage. I find it formulaic. I find it tropey. There's a good bit of it in this too. I'll admit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the sort of tropey stuff that makes me go, why would you have a camera on? Why would you why would you go right with the camera at this point? You muppet. You're I'm gonna start off with the opening scene. We have our flipping our protagonist, Scarlett, who is sneaking into Iran. She must be coming from either Syria or Iraq. I think those two countries border Iran. Wouldn't be Kuwait because she's driving a crappy bus and they only drive Lamborghinis in Kuwait. Flipping, they all drive like maniacs. It's really funny.
It was a good opening scene, though, wasn't it?
But she's like, I'm sneaking into Iran. Nobody will know it's me.
As if.
Mate, everyone in the bloody bus, the minute you open your mouth, and the fact that you're talking into a camera, which,
It's
okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, unlike the Australia-New Zealand border, obviously Iran, Syria, or Iran, Iraq don't have a border because she doesn't get a border check.
No, funny that, right? yeah. It was a good opening scene, though, I have to admit. It was quite a good fast pace to get in there, but yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of see the tropes with this character. That's what kind of...
Yes. Indiana Jones type lady, right?
Indiana Jones / Laura Croft / you name it.
Yeah.
Dora the Explorer. It's got a bit of it all.
Totally.
But I have to say, the overall premise, the idea of the movie, I liked. I found it really intriguing. So the idea of finding the Philosopher's Stones and the fact that this legend transcends the world and pieces of the puzzle have been left and through people's travels and various instances in history, that's fascinating. I like that because that's where a lot of good horror comes from. If it's embedded in like folklore, myth, or history, it uses an already established tale. That's where I always get the best horror from.
Absolutely, yeah. I like it, quite like it when they bring historical stuff into it, like they did with this. I think that's why I really quite enjoyed it. So, yeah. Well, when we get to the catacomb bit, anyway. But the beginning scene in Iran, I think that was quite good. It's a little bit drawn out, perhaps, but I don't know.
Yeah, and there wasn't much of a plot per se to this movie, and I think quite a few bits. I think I've put it in my notes as well that there's parts like it's filler, like they're trying to stretch out a feature movie. I don't know how they could have better done this. Would have been uncover more pieces of the puzzle because they've got a template there of covering puzzles.
Yeah.
Would have more time maybe spent in a library as well and looking up tomes apart from doing the magic tricks and stuff with stone. I don't know. It's like they're struggling to fill out a movie, but they've more than enough material there to do it.
They did. Yeah, they did.
Especially with the, what they're using, the Philosopher's Stone, the Legends, they brought the Crusades into it.
Yeah.
There's loads of stuff.
Yeah, there's lots of little bits in there that I think they just stuck together, and yeah, I think it worked well in some instances, but yeah, those fillers were quite easy to fast forward through the second time I watched it. So yeah, because it just got a bit boring some of the way through with a lot of the scenes, but generally I think the plot worked out well. They had lots of different intricate bits in there and some supernatural stuff happening. I thought that was quite cool.
I think maybe if I had spent more time, and I know we hate it in movies, but exposition, a bit more explaining, a bit more delving into, uncovering mysteries, maybe some of the backstories of the folks. Now, I know they're loosely basing this on Dante's Inferno or the Divine Comedy, 7 levels of hell.
Yeah.
They could have maybe went into that a bit more. I don't know. It just seems like they've enough there to make a full feature film with plenty in it, and it seems to be they were struggling. That was my kind of take from it.
Yeah.
Which I found very odd.
Yeah. It kind of worked though, but yeah, they could have spent more time on a little bit more of the history than the running around as much. Yeah. Because the running around was really good, but then it was kind of like, oh well, you could have fitted something else in there, or you could have explained that like a bit more. I mean, not everybody knows about Dante's Inferno and where the as above, so below comes from and all that sort of stuff. There's a lot of guessing. And I guess you have to be a bit more knowledgeable on those sorts of factors if you really want to get the idea or the plot of the story. But I think they did pretty well. They did all right. Well, for an hour and a half worth of movie, they could have made it a little bit longer, maybe, and put some more extra stuff in here.
Hour and a half. I've said this before. An hour and a half for a horror movie is like the perfect runtime.
Yeah.
Once you start getting into your 2 hours, that's where it becomes a thought piece and overblown, and it doesn't work for this genre.
Yeah. I think they could have done without the Iran, but really, it sort of didn't fit, I have to say.
Now, they had a good tie-in and they wasted it.
Yeah.
Because we'll have a Crusader. So, with the story of the Crusader, even a bit of... They went to the trouble of costume and makeup. They could have done a bit of a backstory. They could have done like almost a prequel intro of the Crusader in Jerusalem, or where's Jerusalem? Jerusalem's in Syria, isn't it?
Pass.
No, it's in Israel. Sorry,
Israel.
Israel's on the border. Sorry, of course. Sorry, flipping being daft. No, I'm thinking of Babylon. Babylon's in Iraq.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, I'm not up the biblical stuff. It's good for storytelling, but that's there's me getting burnt at the stake later on. Some zealot on YouTube's gonna dox me, and I'll be half a mob outside. Oh, unbeliever.
Oh, crikey.
That's what I'm talking about, my frustration. There's so many bits of this that could have actually been expanded out and made a really tight, interesting drama, and it's almost like they threw those bits away for jump scares.
Yes, the jump scares.
And this is why I don't like found footage movies. Because, and especially what they've done is the original premise of a camera being found And when you go in front of a camera, this is it.
Mm.
And it's usually set up, people don't want to waste battery power when it's cassettes that, and people forget how precious runtime is on cassettes. That's why older movies that are done in film had to be so tight because I'll use an example. If you've seen, it's a Police Story with Jackie Chan. I know it's not horror, but
sounds familiar.
Right, there's a scene in the shopping mall where he jumps from a building. There was like 15 cameras all rolling at the same time, and he had one take to do it because that's all the film they had.
Wow.
And that was it. He had to do it, and that was it. If he didn't do it, they run out of film. Done.
And that's it. No movie.
No movie.
Wow.
But that's where I think that gets lost. That kind of precious commodity of time and tape and space. They run these cameras like they've got infinite batteries and infinite memory, and that's where I have that's where I have trouble.
Yeah. Found footage is a bit of a you've really got to do it really well. I mean, I don't think there'll ever be another Blair Witch Project type of
no,
once we've seen that's it,
Yep.
There's no other found footage is really going to compare, is it? So people have tried. I watched quite a good one the other day, but I quite liked it.
Yeah, my favorite of the genre is Troll Hunter. I really enjoyed that one.
I don't think I've watched that.
That's a Cameron slates me for it, and I'm like, well, I enjoyed that. It made more sense, and they used the camera right. It's all about using the camera.
Yeah.
If you don't, right. if you treat the camera like this unlimited resource, then you've lost it.
Yeah.
They did it well in this because they had a camera person, they had a camera guy.
Yeah.
And they explained putting the cameras into the head torches, like GoPros.
Yeah.
Like they didn't say GoPros, but they're GoPros.
Yep.
That makes sense. Oh, sorry, another one, but it's not quite found footage. It was different. Deadstream. That was a really good one. That was satire though.
Was it?
Yeah, it was satire on streamers and found footage as well combined. That was done really well. Adam and I reviewed that one. Really good.
Yep.
I'll
have to have a look at your review. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That's it done really well because it made sense. Him setting up the cameras for the stream.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And you had the interaction, like we're doing this, and people are appearing in chat and everything else, and it was, and then they had the stuff, and it's fantastic.
Oh, wow. Okay, what was that called?
Deadstream.
Deadstream. Wow, cool. Yeah. So, what did you think of Scarlett's character?
Oh, she is one insufferable, manipulative, just borderline lunatic.
Heart narcissist.
Absolutely. She would step over your cold, dead body to achieve her aims. I didn't put it in notes, but this is a perfect example of the trope. Me, big brain equals dumb in horror movies.
Yeah.
So if you think Prince of Darkness, Prometheus, The Thing, when everyone starts off going, ooh, I'm big brain, I've got 50 degrees. Well, I've got 57 degrees. Well, I've got 320 degrees. Okay. And then they all turn out to be idiots. Prometheus is the best example of this. Everyone's a super duper smart scientist being sent out to the research station. Yeah. And then they go, oh, I'm going to touch the stuff. I'm going to touch the stuff that hasn't been sampled yet. Oh, I'm going to play with the cobra looking thing because we don't have cobras on our planet. And that's a smart thing to do. Oh, I'm going to let people in without being decontaminated because we're on a distant planet we haven't tested yet. We'll just take our helmets off the minute we think it's all right. Okay.
Yeah. Totally.
Prince of Darkness is another perfect example of this. everyone starts off the movie going, I've got blah, 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 blah. I am PhD candidate this, blah, 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 blah. And then they all turn into morons. She plays the same part. It's brilliant. And I don't know if it's intentional. Do you know why horror always has a subtle message?
Yeah. I'm thinking it could do possibly have a little message behind there, that no matter how many bloody degrees you have, or no matter how experienced or knowledgeable or intelligent you are, there's some adversaries you can't overcome.
Yep.
Ghosts and demons and poltergeists, they don't care if you've got freaking a degree or a PhD. I think that might be a subtle look at that, possibly.
There's a wee bit of common sense required to survive a horror movie.
Some intelligent people have no common sense.
I will see this all the time. Like, obviously, high school kids, you expect it. That's why they're great for slasher movies. Because I'll go down the dark passageway by myself because that's clever.
I'll go down the alleyway. Yeah.
I'll only hit the killer once and hope it's all sorted.
Yeah.
Oh man,
fantastic.
I don't know. Some of these movies are more fun to rip apart than actually watch or play about with the tropes. It's more the stuff that's not on screen than actually on it.
Yeah, right.
Let's go through the characters then. Why not? Let's go through each of the characters. So Scarlett, she's a bint, just not a nice person.
Nah, she's a mummy. She's a daddy's girl. Fearless and brave though.
Fair play. You know what I mean? Fair enough to that.
Stupid. Yeah, she's very stupid. Yeah. At the end of the day, her character is quite headstrong. I think I liked that about her, but it was a bit, like you said, Indiana Jones type, Lara Croft sort of similarities. Yeah. But she's actually a likable character. I found her likable. I was rooting for her not to die. I actually didn't want her to end up, that way. I like the little side stories to the characters as well. How they have to face their own demons.
Yeah, that was another thing that was rushed through. That's what I'm saying about they spent time stretching out certain plot points, and we didn't get enough of they're actually facing their demons. It was rushed. What do you call him?
Yes.
Papillon.
Yeah, Papillon. Yeah,
he's the perfect example of we needed more time to understand what the hell happened. That was gone. Yeah. His storyline was just like.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was quite a central character too. So,
like, not only are you making me watch flipping found footage, you're making me watch French people as well. It's like, God's sake, I must have really upset you.
You did. Killer so far.
Oh, that was it. Flip's sake. This is we should have renamed this as above, so below. Dell's Revenge. I might rename this title. Actually, put it in the description.
On Colin. Go on.
Join Dell as she gets revenge on Colin for putting her through cheesy movies.
Yeah.
I did ask you, in fairness, I did go, yeah, something I could have a laugh at ripping apart, and you just went, I know how I'll get him.
I know your secret now.
It's no secret, it's flipping out there anyway. What about George? I felt sorry for poor old George.
Oh, but love struck her.
Poor man.
Yeah, that's a bit sad.
All he's doing is going around fixing clocks. Like,
they're so mental. Oh my god, that bit was just. Oh, what, he fixed a clock that hasn't worked in 600 years?
Yeah, I mean, he sneaks into the church to do it. What church do you know wouldn't go like, oh, you want to fix this? Go right ahead.
And how did she break? She's breaking in, and it's just like, oh my god, I don't know.
If he had been working on here's the thing: if he had been working on a project, and she came and asked to see him, that would have been fine. But they're trying too hard. I think that's the problem with this movie. They're trying too hard.
Yeah, I think they're focusing too much on her Indiana Jones sort of, character breaking into things, or Lara Croft, whatever, breaking into things. And you're right. I think if that bit could have been done, and he didn't take much to twist his bloody arm, did it? I mean, he was like, no, I don't ever want to see you again. And the next minute he's agreed to it. It's just like that bit was a bit.
Yeah, so they could have had that a simple meeting. Oh, there's a guy I know, and then he's actually he's an expert in his field, restoring, repairing clocks. It doesn't matter. It didn't have
They
to
could
be
have
as
met at a coffee
dramatic.
shop. Yeah, they could have met at a coffee shop, right?
Yeah, no, but even visiting him at the church while he's repairing a clock, not sneaking into a church to do it. That's weird, and it makes no sense.
I think they're trying to character build and make him seem just as
Off the wall, or
flippant, quirky, off the wall, just like maybe Scarlett is. Obviously they've had some sort of relationship.
But his character is not portrayed that way.
No, because he doesn't do anything, right?
Yeah, so his character didn't need to do that
character
because
building that went nowhere. Yeah. Because we didn't invest in him at all. I mean, I didn't, not as a character.
No. He's bit of a waste of time. I felt sorry for him. What he did was highlight her narcissism. She has him under her thumb, and she basically thinks she can call up anytime and he'll come running, which he did.
Yeah. Which goes to show her personality, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was more of a mirror held up to her.
She would walk over someone's dead corpse to get the job done. Basically, that's her character in a nutshell.
And the problem, obviously, don't want to jump ahead, but there should be some sort of payoff for that. They're setting her up. They're showing her in this way. And that's what I'm wondering, was the writer aware of what they were doing? Or, I guess this is made 2014, so
yeah,
it's not during this, and if it was made 2017, I would understand, because everyone in Hollywood or movie making is a complete muppet these days.
Yeah, totally.
And they're all like, there's a talent vacuum. They're all grifters. They're destroying the art form, and they're all self-inserts as well. I would get that then. Or is this maybe one of the early examples that maybe we've glossed over because it was so long ago? Because all this nonsense started by 2010 in the entertainment industry, was stupid nonsense,
The writers' problems and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And I don't know.
But it's almost like either they've missed the point or he doesn't know how to tell a story. I didn't get who the obviously I put the director in the notes, but I can't remember the writers. So obviously it's normally a team anyway. I don't know. It's almost like
they put too much ideas on the table and probably went, well, we'll do all of them.
Yeah, instead of okay, let's pick 3 and go with it.
Yeah, and they've lost it along the way. I guess that it's just gotten a little bit confusing in some places, but not dramatically. But there's a lot of stuff in there that if you don't know anything about would not make sense. Say the 7 layers.
Sorry, this is what I'm talking about, the Zoom thing.
Oh, what's happened?
So what we'll have to do is for 2 seconds end this meeting.
Yep.
And come back on for another hour, just so we'll have an hour's time. This is the problem with Zoom. Yeah, I've had this before.
Wow.
Yeah. If you don't pay for it, I'll explain the reason. What we'll do, I'm going to put this in standby.
Cool.
Folks, we will be back in a moment. We just need to do some technicalities.
All right.
Be right with you.
Okay. You do that. Yep. Cool. Right. Hey.
Aha.
Hey.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Zoom, if you use the free version, it'll only let you have an hour for a meeting.
That's very strange because we used to use it for my course a couple of years ago, and we'd have like 4-hour meetings.
Yeah, but the person that runs it has to pay it.
That's right. Yep.
Now, what I had done before with this stream, people can look back in earlier interviews, is I had Zoom and I was using OBS as a streaming software. So then I paid for the upgrade to Zoom. But the problem with OBS is because it's an open platform, people kept putting weird code into it. There's an open source, it's an open source streaming software. So people kept putting weird code. So I kept losing like the ability to insert stuff. Plus, you get all this silly grey stuff. If I show me, see all this here? That is horrible looking. What you have to do is like almost stretch it out. It just looks, you end up getting distorted and stuff. It's just not, it just doesn't look good for a stream.
Jeepers. Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah, because it just wasn't good. And then the problem with using stuff coming in through your computer is you're actually doubling up on your broadband or your bandwidth because you have to pull all the video images in, then you have to push them out.
Wow.
And it just makes it an absolute hassle. And that's why I've got 3 monitors, because I end up having to get extra monitors to run it this way. I was flipping that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And that's why I switched to StreamYard, which so far seems to work really well, but for some reason.
Except for New Zealand.
But there's New Zealand, there's New Zealanders. There's one like Shadversary I follow. And he's able to use it okay.
Oh.
Who else?
How strange.
Because
I'd never heard of StreamYard until I started doing stuff with you. I'd never heard of it.
It's quite new, and we only just like I follow other YouTubers, obviously, and not always horror. You know, a lot of sort of nerd sphere. Let's put it, because you generally find crossover. If you're some sort of geek or nerd, you tend to be into one thing, and then go into something else, and you do bits and pieces. So that's kind of it's how I cleanse a palate as well. Because if you just sit and do horror all the time, then you get burnt out. So you need something. You need something to cleanse the palate. So I watch people laughing about the whole comic book industry and the fantasy genre and the sci-fi genre and just how bad it is. And then I'm like, well, do you know what? I can watch a flipping shitty found footage movie because at least I know there's some heart behind it. You know, and at least people want to make it and they're not trying to beat you over the head with messaging.
I have a secret obsession for Karen videos.
Yeah.
They make me laugh.
Oh, if you see the ones with like heavy metal tunes over the top.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
They do that, like they just take footage from Karen's doing what Karen's doing and they put tunes over it. There's this one guy in particular and he does it, you know.
Yes, there's a couple of them that do it. Yeah, it's quite good.
Oh god. Sometimes the comedy writes itself.
Yeah, totally.
But anyway, back to the movie. Oh my word. Yeah, so George, poor guy, underutilized. He didn't get his moment to shine.
No.
And this, which is a shame. And they tried to make him some sort of exciting, thrill-seeking dude. And then when you actually had the character, it was a complete wet fish. It just went, you know, just flopped on the deck.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I don't know.
So it makes you wonder what's going on in the writer's head. What are they playing on?
Why so many characters, for one thing, I was thinking about.
Well, cannon fodder. It's like a slasher movie. You know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah, but yeah. You have to have enough people to kill. Oops, not that I'm going to.
Well, it is a horror movie, you know. If nobody The weirdest horror movies are when nobody dies. It's very odd. And you're like, what? You almost feel cheated.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, we want a bit of blood and gore and
absolutely.
You know.
What do you think of Benji, the cameraman?
Oh God, blimey! Oh, I think he's got a secret obsession with Scarlett. for one thing. I think he was the trophy black guy in the movie, basically. I think that's the only reason he was in there.
Wasn't it Scary Movie made fun of that trope?
Possibly.
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm the black guy for this movie. No, you have to go. At least
that's right.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad he lasted as long as he did, though. But yeah, no, he was just
was a wimp.
Yeah,
he's
totally.
a big dude as well. He's a big, well-built.
Yeah.
What's he doing? He's a complete utter flake. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, totally. But I guess he was only supposed to be the cameraman, but then he had those little supernatural experiences with that strange lady that kept coming around. Do you remember her?
Yeah, but once again,
I don't know why.
It was jump scares. That's what it kind of. So I didn't get, because some people, the ghosts were connected to them, and then they're just these random entities. And I was getting the impression of, not to jump ahead again, but this may as well as being a roller coaster or a carnival ride.
Yeah.
I was expecting you're strapped in, supposed to go, whoa, wow, whoa, it's like Ghost Train. That's the impression I got with this movie, which, considering the setup, they were trying to make an intelligent horror. It kind of devolved.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah. They did what they could, but I found it really intriguing that they actually were allowed to film in the catacombs, and wow.
I thought there was something about because normally in caves they don't like flash photography or anything because it damages.
Yeah,
they have to have like special lighting, don't they, for underground? Like back home there's the Marble Arch caves, and I don't think you're allowed to. I haven't been there for years, but I don't think you're allowed flash photography because because underground it causes problem like the mold and stuff, and
that distorts. It does. Yeah, exactly. So
sorry, I'm only small brain. Obviously one of these big brain scientists in these movies would probably explain it better.
Yeah, probably.
But I think I'd survive a horror movie longer. So that's kind of the Brady Bunch, the Scooby Gang, the Intrepid Explorers.
Totally.
And then we'll have this weird thing. They go down to the catacombs first of all, and then they meet this like weird guy going, you need to search for Pavilion. Then vanishes. I'm like, oh my God, here we go with the fucking jump scares, the jump trope.
Yep.
Oh, he's there. No, he's not there. And that's what bugs me. That's what I find difficult to deal with. Because it's almost like they have to insert all these scenes just to make it found footage.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, so this random dude sitting just casually sketching or something, and then he's like, go to the next part.
Strange. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of useless bits in there, most definitely.
But once again, they've enough material to make interesting bits.
It could have, yeah, totally.
George could have known him. There was a use for George, apart from reading Aramaic.
Yeah, we should have read it. We should have written it. Totally, we would have done a better job.
It's
so far out.
George could have known Papillion.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Wonderful characters, and some of them go places, and some of them are just like, why did you even have this person in here? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? So yeah, I don't know. They could have done it a lot differently. But what they did do was okay. There was some really interesting bits, like when they're just about to get into the catacombs, and then all of a sudden that policeman comes up out of nowhere. That gave me a fright. I had no idea. I had to rewind it and go, what the heck was that?
And he was in full rack here. So what policeman turns up on his own, and they probably couldn't afford to have a whole squad, but still they had this, and because we meet the three friends, we meet Papillion, we meet Susie, Zed. Who was the other one? I can't remember who the other character was. That got caught. Was that the one driving the van?
I think he was the one driving the van, wasn't he?
Yeah. So random throwaway character. I can't remember their name.
Yeah.
But Papillion, he was the best character in this.
Yeah, he was.
Even though he was presented so badly.
Yeah. Mm.
He actually had a bit of depth and acting chops. The actor had a bit of chops to him.
Yeah. A bit of an attitude. Yeah.
Even though he's presented as a throwaway character, he actually had more presence than the rest of them, which I found very strange.
Yeah. And how they trusted him so quickly as well is
like that.
Yeah. Just come on, we'll go break into here and I'll show you how to get into the catacombs. It's like, oh wow, okay. It's weird.
Yeah. And once again, these are the bits that are rushed where they spent time drawing out other bits. I was like, dude, you've got the template. Just extend that scene out a bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Job's done. Gives a wee bit of insight into the character. And
like
I said, if George had a knew him, there's your perfect link without weird jump cut thing.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of jump scares.
Yeah. Well, I kind of time stamped it as well. It took about, I think, 26 minutes to get to the intensity. To get to when the policeman comes and does that, that's when it happens. That's when all the intensity builds up. 26 minutes of nothing.
Yeah.
Basically just building, but not really building. If you know what I mean.
Very, very strange.
See what I mean? Yeah. It was like a whole 26 minutes until that policeman scene. And then they're all rushing in and everything. Yeah, it was kind of like a waste, I reckon. I don't know. It's just my opinion, but I think they could have done a lot more horror in there.
There was so much to work with.
Yeah, there's some good graphic scenes in there too.
But that's the frustrating bit about this movie.
What's the chord?
The perfect setting, the catacombs. They had the perfect backstory. Yeah. They had the whole premise of finding the Philosopher's Stone, of Dante's Inferno, of stepping into the underworld
for hundreds of years and years, and she just managed to find it.
Oh yeah, super duper strong. This is the joke about the strong, independent female.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's back to that flipping Jennifer Lawrence. I'm the first one. There's never a female lead in an action movie before me. And like, oh my god, no, you dippy mare.
Lays, lady.
Oh, the amount of comedy that's come from that. Like, even before Sigourney Weaver in 1979.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Go back to not Julia Roberts. God, Breakfast at Tiffany's. Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, yeah. Audrey Hepburn. Yeah.
Loads of ones in the Western genre. Loads of, it's like, come on, wise up. And even from 1979 onwards, hundreds, and you're just like, get a grip.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
But this Scarlett's character just reminds me of today's idiocy with strong women characters. It's actually quite insulting, I think.
Yeah, in a way, it kind of made her come off a little bit ditzy and stupid and emotionally unstable, problems with her dad, and she could have been a male character, why a female character? It's just I don't know.
I don't know if just problems with her character in general. Just I don't get her. She wasn't endearing to me. No.
But I did like her, but she was a bit overblown.
Superficially, yes. Superficially, the idea of her and finishing her father's work. Could have even had some of her dipping into her father's research before she went anywhere.
No.
Apart from the book,
The book. Yeah.
It's like, come on.
So
this is an intelligent man who spent years researching, and you're saying you have a madman's book, like the Mad Arab for the Necronomicon. It's not that bad.
Oh no. Great.
And talking about generic characters, Susie, Papillion's girlfriend. What the hell was the point of her?
There was no point except to do a really good death scene. Yeah,
I'm gonna.
Even that was a bit gross for me. But yeah, she had no point. She was pointless. Yeah. Sorry, Susie, but you were pointless.
Yeah. It's like, come on. Zed was actually. I said Papillion was the best character, but Zed was actually the only likable character in this.
He was. Yeah. I liked him the whole way through, but he didn't have much going on.
No, and his whole guilt thing at the end was like, what? What's that?
What was? Yes. Well, yeah, I like those little side stories that they were doing, but they didn't put much into it. But I guess there's no point in that anyway. So,
yeah, but once again, they're wasting time on other stuff. Like you said, 26 minutes. There's 26 minutes could have been spent giving each of these characters a backstory. Having a proper way for them to meet each other than just roll the dice and luck and just happen to bounce into whatever was convenient for the plot. All that time wasted.
Yes. They kind of made out that the stuff they're doing is really sketchy and dangerous and criminal and trespassing and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, well, we already know that. You didn't really need to show us all that. We could have just quite easily have had it as basic as possible, just so that we can actually invest in the characters. There was no investing in the characters at all.
Yeah, this isn't a slasher movie.
No.
So when it's not a slasher movie, you need to invest in the characters, because when deaths come, they need to be poignant. They need to actually impact. You're not just going, okay.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, well, she died. Oh, well, he died. Oh, well,
Do you know what did a better version of making you invest in characters? The 2009 Friday the 13th remake.
I had never watched the remakes.
So the first remake, there was a group of, we did it for I watched some crap just for the purpose of art, making a show. I do torture myself sometimes, but the Friday the 13th, the first group of campers actually were well-rounded and likable.
Right.
And they weren't even for the whole movie. It was the first group that got wiped out, and then you have the main characters who were wooden planks.
Right.
But the first group were actually likable, and you had an affinity towards them, and then you're like, oh, when the inevitable happened.
Yeah, that's what we want.
That did a better job in a bloody slasher movie rehash than this, which is supposed to be a clever use of, a clever, engaging, lore-filled adventure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Wow. It's bizarre. I don't know.
I have no answers.
No, I don't know either.
So we'll go through all this guff of them getting into the catacombs and then realizing that parts of the city. Here's another thing. So they already marked parts of the city as having collapsed.
Yeah.
And they get the whole thing from stealing from museums. Like, priceless pieces of art aren't alarmed. I'm pretty sure if you go into a museum and try to lift something off the wall, there's going to be an alarm bell.
If you're going to take a tablet off the wall, yeah, absolutely, right?
And plus...
And then she burns it. And the smoke alarms don't go off.
No. This is like the PS1 version. Didn't Tomb Raider come out in PS1 first?
I don't know.
I think it was PS1. That's how old it is.
Oh.
I think this is PS1 type level of investigating.
Oh.
You get the little icon, the little text boxes pop up. Yes, and go and do this and go and do that. And you go and... That's exactly how that played out.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
National Treasure, what daft? There were two movies with Nicolas Cage, and they're completely daft movies.
Yeah, totally.
But I think he did a better job than her.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh dear.
And that's what's getting me about this. Like, there's so many. If they were going to use tropes they could have just used what's already been done before and better and just copied it.
Do you think it's got anything to do with the fact it's French? Is it French?
No, it's an American movie. It was just set in Paris.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I haven't thought about that because it is a Universal Pictures. So
yeah.
Mm.
Odds below. Yeah. So it's an American horror movie written by John Erick Dowdle and co-written by his brother Drew. So they both wrote and directed it. Yeah, Universal Pictures, Legendary Pictures as well. That's right.
Legendary. Oh wow.
So there's two heavy hitters.
They're huge.
And a $5 million budget. So there's even the Hellraiser movies, which are way more popular.
Yeah.
Got like 250 grand budgets, you know, stupid amounts, you know, ridiculously low amounts of money.
Wow.
So this has a large budget for a horror movie for a start. And plus by 2011, because Blair Witch came out 2002, wasn't it? Wasn't the 90s? It was early 2000s.
Yeah, about 2002, something like that. Yeah, it was right back in the early.
So it's not like this is right in the cusp of the genre. Like 10 years have passed nearly.
Yeah.
And there's been umpteen found footage movies since, which I try to avoid, but people like you keep torturing me.
I won't do it again. It's all right.
Promises.
I'll try.
Yeah, you'll try. Like, stick it in.
I'm gonna Google all the found footage ones.
Oh God!
I won't do it again. I promise.
Oh my. But yeah, there's so many. They could have just lifted from other movies if they really wanted to, and just retold that bit of the story in this setting. Just a shame. What did you think? This is the bit that really made me scratch my head when they encountered the mole, who had went missing 2 years previously, and they brought it up, and you're like, we're going to meet him in the catacombs. We just knew it.
Yeah,
I was not surprised.
Yeah.
But who the hell just goes, I'll follow you? Yeah, because you're stable.
Yeah, and you've been missing for 2 years. That's not at all unusual that you're walking around in the catacombs in the dark for 2 whole years.
Sounding completely off your head. Yeah, I'm going to trust you, man.
Yeah, you'll show us out. Yeah, and where do they go? Wow.
But of course, to get out, you have to go deeper, because that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes real sense. Yeah. And they all followed. What do you call those animals that jump off the cliff together? Yeah.
Oh, remember Lemmings, the computer game? Oh God, that was a
never heard of it.
Oh right. It was like it's like a precursor to likes of Angry Birds today.
Oh,
it
really?
was like the original. It was done in the what was it? The Amiga.
Oh my gosh.
The Amstrad. Sorry, the Amstrad. Like, this is how old it is. Sorry, I'm showing me age here, folks.
It's old.
But the Amstrad, you know, like floppy disks. You put a floppy disk in to play it. That's how old it is. But you had to get the Lemmings not to jump off by building bridges and stuff. But yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
Cool.
It was a fun game. I wonder if you can find it. There's bound to be an emulator. Bound to be an online emulator now with Lemmings you can play. Sorry, another tangent. That's what this show's about. We love our tangents.
Oh wow!
But the problem is, there's not much of a plot in this movie, so we'll have to talk about something because there's not really much to actually go through, which is
actually all over the place, isn't it? Really.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've written some notes, and it's just like there's no plot it's not gathering. It's sort of these little bits all over. You know, there's no. Okay, we know that they're getting in there to go and look for something, and then they should be coming out. But then there's all this other stuff that's going on. So
I think it was just a lot of busy work. Which, if they had just stuck to the main thing, it's like they had to write the catacombs in because they needed somewhere scary. But at the end of the day, the catacombs themselves don't really add to the story.
No,
this could have been a warehouse This could have been an abandoned church.
Yep.
This could have been, with the plots that they had, it's almost like they went, oh, here's a cool scenario. And then they realized when they actually went to the catacombs themselves, there's not too much to do there. So they had to like scramble to build a plot out of it.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I guess they had to find somewhere where they could have a hidden philosopher's stone. But why would the philosopher's stone be in the catacombs? It's just like, oh my gosh, that was just a weird angle. But I love the catacombs. But then again, I felt
didn't utilize them.
I felt they wasted it. They had all this. I don't know. Maybe it had to do with certain places they weren't allowed to film in, but
they could have just built the set.
They could have, right? Which is actually what I thought they did.
Right, like you said, cut out the Iran trip. That served no purpose. So there's money saved right away.
Yeah, I mean, how much would they have had to have forked out to get entrance into, filming?
I don't think they even went. They might have went to Cyprus or somewhere. I don't know where it was shot, but even at that, there's money saved not doing that. But makes no sense.
Yeah, it made no sense.
They could have had it all in the one location in Paris because their father could have got so far.
Yep.
And then stopped. Went mad.
And she took over. Yeah.
Just a shit. Like there's so much potential with this movie, and it was wasted.
I guess what they had to do, Colin, is they had to find somewhere where they could film, say, or carry on the premise of the 7 layers of hell. And I guess they had to start thinking of places, and well, the catacombs seems quite obvious, doesn't it? Because it's underground and you're going deep into the ground and all that. I guess that, I guess.
But they never actually explored the layers. That's the thing.
No, but they did. I think they had a place in mind to go to in the catacombs. So, which I found really strange, because I don't think anybody really does know the whole entire outline of the, catacombs. So that sort of fell flat, because I thought, well, that's rubbish. He's Papillon and he knows everywhere and where to go in the catacombs. And I'm thinking, oh, well, how many people have been lost in there, and they found the places so easy, and she ran back when she had to run back and get the real philosopher's stone. It was like,
that whole thing with
what
did they call it?
Oh God.
Did I even write down the name? It wasn't a philosopher's stone, it was the inverted image of it.
Oh, the Flammel
stone or something like that.
Yes, Flammel stone, sorry. Which I don't even know if is real, but
I didn't care.
No.
I just thought, oh my God, this is filler. But so if I had just stuck to finding the Philosopher's Stone and used the cave network, job done. If they had have explored the 7 layers of hell and had them descending into the 7 layers and went through, was it lust, envy, anger?
Yeah. Wrath, gluttony, all that.
Gluttony, betrayal. It's the 7 deadly sins, but it's also elongated with the extra 9 layers.
And they didn't explain it.
Nothing.
They
had 6 characters. So if they had even had 9 characters, because they had enough supporting cast and extra. Oh, there's some of your friends on here.
Oh, hello, my friends.
Do you believe it? And Gabrielle's on as well, obviously.
Oh, my sister.
Yeah, they could have had 9 characters because enough of a supporting cast and plot wasted.
Yeah.
Like that whole nightclub scene was just, what the hell is this?
Oh,
even before we got here,
it didn't even fit. That scene didn't even fit. It was too loud. It was too boisterous. It was just, he came off looking like an arrogant prick.
Yeah, and there's 10 or 20 extra cast members and extras they paid for, where if they had 9 members of the team, like a rescue expedition.
Yeah.
Then they could have did each layer of hell, and each person got to. No way, not again.
Oh no! Remaining time 9 minutes and 50. Oh man, they're ruthless.
Oh yeah, it's really bad.
No, you're bad.
That's why I don't like Zoom, and even paying for it just didn't really add anything. It's because
No,
it didn't have a subscription.
not if you're not going to use it. No.
No. We'll do some investigating and get this sorted. So, because it's not your connection. Look at this, perfect.
Yeah, I know.
So it's a
Definitely.
problem with StreamYard or web. It might be a web-based thing. It might even be your Chrome set. Are you using Chrome?
Yeah. Oh no, Microsoft. Oh no.
I rest my case.
You're kidding.
My lord, the prosecution rests their case. Fucking Microsoft Edge. There you go. There's your problem.
God. I've got Google browser on my freaking computer. I could have done it that way.
Do you know what we'll do? We'll have a test of offline at some point, and we'll do we'll jump into one of the other ones and maybe have a wee play about after this. But I suppose we better wrap this up anyway before Zoom kicks us off again, because we restarted it and it's still going.
Yes. Plus, we don't want to give away too many spoilers.
Yeah. This
just say they don't all get out alive.
Yeah, we have the whole thing about the Philosopher's Stone, but it's a wasted plot.
Totally.
We have a Templar Knight, which was a wasted idea.
Did you even? Oh my god!
They did nothing with him. They did nothing with him. Wasted.
Red Templar, really? And oh my god.
They spent money on effects. I'll give them that. They spent money on effects, and some of the effects, especially the underground thing and the almost looking into purgatory glass thing with ghosts, was brilliant.
Yes.
Some people had trauma which manifested itself, others didn't.
Yeah.
So it wasn't consistent.
It wasn't, no.
If you think about Event Horizon, let's use that an example of a haunted place, which was a portal to hell.
Yeah.
Every character, sorry, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, sorry about that.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you. Each one had a personal experience. This was just, some had a personal experience, some people had a random ghost.
A random ghost from nowhere.
Yeah, just no context.
Yeah.
Last video call on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Do me a favor, Gabrielle. Send us a link. Actually send Dale a link at some stage, and Dale can message it to me, and we'll have a look at that.
What is that?
Time. The last radio call.
Oh, dude, you want found footage?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You'll love this one. You don't like found footage, but you'll like this one.
Oh, so it's right. Okay, so Gabrielle wants to torture me now as well. That's it. You got the whole family picking on me. That's fine. That's fine.
We are twins. We think alike.
Mean. Yeah, so there you go. This movie goes from like super slow pace and then just races.
It does. Yeah, it's got some really intense moments in there. It's a good watch. It's a good watch. I would highly recommend it. Yeah.
Good for the visuals. I'll give it that. The visuals are really well done, and they're not overdone.
Not overdone, no.
It's just give us a better plot and character development and stick to one thing.
Yeah, totally. But yeah. I liked it. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks, buddy. Yeah. Nice to know who my friends are.
I like your little note. Why do you hate me?
Just like, oh my god. Well, I even messaged you. That's why I was late your tale yesterday, because I was watching this going, oh my god. And then I'd flicked on my phone and saw, oh god, there's people in chat, right? I better pause this and rush in to sign on to my other account.
Yeah, we're waiting for you.
Yeah, god. I was too busy getting flipping beat over the head with this movie.
Sorry.
But yeah, if you like found footage, this does every trope imaginable.
Yeah.
You'll get it. You'll get your thing from it. If you're like me, you just reinforce your prejudice.
Totally.
Shame there was so much here to make a fantastic movie. And even if it wasn't found footage, here's an annoying thing. Even if this wasn't a found footage movie, it would have been a bad movie in terms of plot and characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they had have even removed the found footage and did a proper, used one of the tropes and followed it through, God, this could have been brilliant.
Oh, could have been, right? Totally.
And having the catacombs as just the entryway into another world.
Yeah. Mm.
That would, they wouldn't have lost it. Or have the catacombs part of a plot. The Philosopher's Stone's going to be used to raise the dead.
Yeah.
Some nefarious plot in the background. I uncovered it.
Totally.
But sadly wasn't to be. And the ending was a bit of a damp squid as well.
Wasn't that weird?
It's just like, okay.
Yeah. Bye. Bye, Zed.
Yep. Have it. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Oh.
There you go. So you've got some conflicting views here.
Yeah.
Up to you guys. I've put the link in the description. Check it out. Make your own. And as always, if you agree, what you agree with, what you disagree with, leave it in the comments. Let us know. Keep it civil as always. That's, you can disagree on things and still not fall out of it. Let's get away from this mental, whatever it is going on in the world right now, that everything has to be either or for or against or in some sort of holy crusade.
Oh, gosh.
It's flipping weird, but don't do that. That's not good. That's not what we're about in this channel.
No.
Do you remember when we could talk about movies and be civil and still be friends? Like, remember those days? They were fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can do that.
Yep. As always. Well, there you go. Dale, thank you very much for being on. And we're starting to get our head around this technical stuff, so I think we're going to see a lot more of Dale in future. Definitely. There you go, folks. Keep up to date with the channel. We've plenty going on. Busy couple of weeks ahead of us. Do the typey clicky things. And until next time, keep it creepy. Keep it horrific.